Hey everyone, Alex Brinkley here, and today in this video we are breaking down Laura Palmer's theme from the TV show Twin Peaks.
Good Lord, Laura. Laura Palmer.
In the first two seasons, it seems like it's played every 5 minutes, and there's also a great clip of the composer, Angela Badalamenti, talking about writing it with David Lynch. It's a clip here on YouTube. I will put a link above me, so make sure you check that out. It's pretty funny. I guess for this project, essentially what I did was I recreated it all in Logic using some of the same instruments. That way I can understand some of the musical vocabulary that Badalamenti was using for this. And what I learned is that there's kind of three main things and three main points I want to talk about today. One of which is mediant relationships. The second of which is the Lydian mode. And the third of which is taking the same melody notes and using different harmonies beneath them to create totally different sounds. So yeah, let's get started. To start off, I'm just going to play it for you guys. So in the beginning here, it's a 4-bar phrase that is repeated 4 times, and it's all very much so in the key of C natural minor. We have octave pedal C's, and then over top of that, the flat 6 lay to sol, te, sol, and again, if you know your minor scales, the flat third, the flat sixth, and the flat seventh are kind of like the defining characteristics of minor versus major. Additionally, on the second bar of every 4-bar phrase, we kind of hear this distant piano note. It's a very low C. And that's mostly to help us with, I think, A, the form, because it happens on the second bar of every 4-bar phrase. Secondly, it helps kind of with the darkness of the timbre and the overall mood. And also, it helps further root us in this key of C minor. Like I said, it repeats it for a total of 4 times until the last time we kind of go into this new section. And then I should also add that during this section, we never actually get the third scale degree. We never actually get one of the most defining things of all minor scales is that flat third. In melodic and in harmonic, the 6th and 7th can vary. And so, but that being said, the flat third is always consistent, and we never really get that as a melody note. We get it a little bit in the overtones of the synth, but never clearly stated. That is until this next section. So let's take a listen. So what just happened right there? Well, we're in C minor, te, adding on the 9th, the D, and then where we're expecting to get an E flat, we actually get an E natural. And this really helps with the ambiguity of the show, and also with the theme. It's kind of like, are we in C minor? Are we in C major? Well, we're kind of floating in between the two. It's really cool the way that he was reserving that note and not giving it to us until here, where we get the note, but he deceives us by playing E natural and not E flat. Let's keep listening. Whoa, where are we now? Totally changes. Same harmony all throughout here. And that's where it's about to change. So what's going on there? Well, we're in E. I guess I'll start in C. So we go up to an E major chord there. Now E, if you know anything about music theory, E major is not diatonic to the key of C because we have G sharp versus what we expect is a G natural. Now, this is something called a chromatic mediant relationship. There are 3 forms of mediants. There are diatonic, there are chromatic, and there are doubly chromatic. So a diatonic mediant relationship is just between any chords that are third away. For example, C major to E minor, or C major to A minor. Those are diatonic medians. Now, chromatic medians are ones that have one common tone but one altered note. So, for example, from C to E major, we have E as a common tone, but a note changes, in this case G sharp. We can do the same thing going down. From C down to A major. Again, E is our common tone, but now we have C sharp instead of C natural. And the last kind is doubly chromatic medians, which is essentially where you have no common tones, but the two chords are still a third away. So, for example, from C major to E flat minor, it's still a third because C, D, E, E flat's a third, and there are no common tones. We can do the same thing going down. From C major to E flat or to A flat minor. So that's what's going on here. It's a chromatic median relationship. Let's take another listen to that. So it's really cool. And what's also really cool about this E harmony that's going on is it's not just E major. It's actually E Lydian. Now, Lydian is one of our modes, and it's characterized by having a raised fourth scale degree, as opposed to. So it kind of creates this very lifted, very kind of slightly ambiguous, always rising sound, and it's been used a lot in different films. And it's used for that kind of idea of kind of slightly mysterious, slightly kind of mystical. So it's a great sound. I love the sound. The reason why it works so well is because the two notes that are in E Lydian that he's using, this G sharp and the A sharp, are also the same notes as we heard earlier. But now, instead of using over a C harmony, it's over this E harmony. So it's a great way of keeping the listener into something that they're familiar with, but kind of in a different way that is, has a very different functionality. I should also add that for me, I always think about the Lydian mode as kind of being along the same trend line as a whole tone scale. Now, whole tone scales are very ambiguous. It's because the first four notes are the same. That's Lydian. That's whole tone. So again, it's kind of this always rising and helps with that ambiguous nature of the show and also this theme. All right, let's keep listening, and we're going to check out the next harmony. Where are we now? Totally different. Same harmony. It's building. Here it comes. Nope, just kidding. So what's going on there is we're going from E Lydian, C sharp, D sharp, which are both enharmonic to E, and then it goes to this F minor idea. So it's a half step away from the harmony that we just were, but we're using again the same melody notes that we had earlier. The G sharp and the A sharp, or in this case, A flat and B flat. It's now Re, Me, Fa. Over E, it was Mi, Fi, Sol. Now, the same kind of notes, adding in that G though, is Re, Me, Fa. So it's super hip. Again, it keeps the listener into something that they're familiar with, but does it in a new way. Take another listen. Re, me, fa, re, me, fa, sol, la. And here we go up to the D. Now, the note D is not exactly diatonic to the key of F minor. Sure, I guess it is in melodic minor, but when we think about, our stock minor scale, we have that, the D flat. And so I feel like that really helps with attention. And we actually spell that as a half diminished 7 chord. So a moment of great tension, you know. And then we finally resolve, and where do we go? We go back to C, kind of in the same way that we did earlier. Half to minor 7, C major. There it is. We finally got it. A minor. So what happens right there is we go to an A minor chord, which is a diatonic mediant to C. So it's we finally get it. Boom. And then again, same melody. And then here is one of my favorite chords. It's a sharp 11, or you know, the Lydian chord. So right here we got the root, the fifth, the third, F major spread triad with the sharp 11, the ninth, and the sharp 11. It's a great Lydian sound. So kind of a callback to the Lydian that we had over the E chord. He takes that same shape and just brings it down diatonically in the right hand until we finally get down to the note C. And then after that, we go immediately into back to C minor. So take a listen to that. A minor. F sharp 11. Going down, keeping the same harmony. And then back into the forest, Laura Palmer goes with the dark C natural minor. So yeah, it's great. So there it is, guys. There is a breakdown of Laura Palmer's theme from the TV show Twin Peaks. We looked at three main things. We looked at mediant relationships, be them diatonic, chromatic, or doubly chromatic. We looked at the Lydian mode and the different ways that we can utilize that. And we also looked at how we can reharmonize the same melody notes to create totally different sounds and really move our compositions along. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you check out my YouTube channel, Modern Music Education. I'll be building it up more over these next couple months, and hopefully I'll see you around. Thanks for watching.